Hey there. So, you live in Oceanside, you've got a dog, and you already know it's pretty much the best place to be, right? But you also know that making sure your best friend is a happy, well-behaved local takes a little bit of effort. So today, we're going to break down exactly how to find the perfect dog trainer for your life, right here in Oceanside. Okay, let's just jump right into a real-life scenario. Think about the Thursday Sunset Market. You're trying to walk through, there are amazing food smells everywhere, tons of people. What's your dog doing in that moment? Is he just chilling by your side, or is he kind of losing his mind, pulling on the leash, maybe barking a little? That's a classic Oceanside test, and it's exactly the kind of thing the right training can help with.
And it's not just the market, is it? Our whole city is basically one big, amazing, and sometimes distracting classroom for our dogs. You've got the boardwalks on the Strand, busy. Surfers, seagulls, kids on the sand, all at once. And then there are the crowds at the pier trying to have a nice meal on a patio at Harbor Village, or just dealing with skateboarders whizzing by downtown. See, good training isn't just about sit and stay. It's really about giving your dog the confidence to handle all this stuff so they can actually enjoy our town with you.
So, here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll talk about why training is so helpful for our specific Oceanside life. Then, we'll get into finding the right match for you, how to vet a trainer, what the costs look like locally, and finally, how to put all those new skills into practice. Let's get to it. All right, first up, why train for Oceanside life? Well, it's all about building a confident city dog.
Really, the whole point is to help your dog navigate our town calmly and safely. It's about giving them the skills so they don't get freaked out by, a surfer walking by with a board or a bunch of people at a crowded cafe. It's less about correcting bad behavior and way more about building up their confidence so they can handle this vibrant coastal life we love.
Okay, on to our next section, finding your training match. Let's break down the options you have. So first things first, let's talk about the how. The modern, science-backed way to train is called positive reinforcement, and it's pretty simple, really. You use rewards like treats, praise, a favorite toy to encourage the behaviors you want. This makes learning fun for your dog and builds this really strong, trusting relationship between you two. Now, where does the training actually happen? Well, you've got a couple of main choices. In-home training is perfect if you're dealing with stuff that happens at home. Like going crazy when the doorbell rings, or maybe some potty training issues. Plus, you get to practice right on your own streets. Then you've got group classes. These are awesome for socializing your dog and for them to learn how to focus on you even with other dogs and people around. They're also usually a more affordable option.
And for those who need something a bit more intensive, there are a couple other formats. With day training, a trainer basically works with your dog during the day, and then they have handoff sessions with you so you know how to keep the progress going. On the other hand, a board and train is where your dog actually stays at a training facility. Now, this can really speed things up, especially for busy owners, but you have to be really careful and do your homework on the facility and the methods they're using.
And that actually leads us perfectly into our next topic, how to vet a trainer so you can make a really confident choice.
Okay, so here are 4 simple steps to follow. First, look for professional credentials. Second, double-check that they use positive reinforcement. Third, ask them how they're going to customize the program for your goals. And finally, always request a consultation. You need to make sure it's a good personality fit for both you and your dog. Now, here's something you might not know. California doesn't actually have official licensing for dog trainers. That means these professional credentials are a big deal. Things like CPDTK or KPACTP. They might just look like a bunch of letters, but they mean that trainer has passed serious exams, completed hands-on programs, and is committed to a professional code of ethics. It's how you know they take their education seriously. So when you're on that consultation call, what should you ask? Here are a few must-asks. Definitely ask what training methods they use. And be specific. Ask how they'll customize the plan for your dog and your Oceanside lifestyle. You'll also want to know how progress is measured, what the total costs are, including any travel fees, and what you'll need to practice between sessions.
All right, let's talk money. What can you expect to invest in training here in Oceanside and the wider San Diego County? Okay, so for a single private lesson, about 60 to 90 minutes, you're typically looking at something in the range of $125 to $200. That's a pretty standard ballpark for our area and gives you a good baseline. And here's a broader look at the averages for different types of services. As you can see, group puppy or obedience classes are gonna be your most budget-friendly option, usually running a couple $100s for a multi-week course. In-home packages, where a trainer comes to you for several visits, are kind of that middle tier. And then the more intensive options like day training or a multi-week board and train, well, that's where you'll see a much bigger investment.
Okay, last section. This is the fun part. Taking all those new skills and putting them into practice out in the real world. First up, a quick but really important reminder about our local leash law here in Oceanside. Your dog has to be on a leash that's no longer than 6 feet whenever you're in a public park or space. It's a simple rule, but it keeps everyone safe and happy.
So, where are the best spots to go practice? Well, for working on those leashed walking skills, the trails at Guajome Regional Park or around Buena Vista Lagoon are fantastic. If you're ready for some fenced off-leash time, the Oceanside Dog Park at Mance Buchanan is the place to be. And when you're feeling really confident about your dog's recall, you can head just south of us to the Dog Beach in Del Mar for the ultimate real-world test.
Because at the end of the day, this is what it's all about, right? Enjoying a calm walk down the Strand, being able to relax at a cafe in Harbor Village with your dog at your feet, or just welcoming friends into your home without a lot of chaos. A well-trained dog just makes every single part of living in Oceanside that much better. We hope this helps you find the perfect training partner for you and your dog. Seriously, having that well-behaved companion just opens up so many more possibilities to enjoy friends, family, and everything this amazing city has to offer. Good luck with your training.